I can tell you what's under Donald Trump's hair, and what is under Donald Trump's hair
Yeah.
is
Trump's hair hasn't been a story for just the last week, it's been in mythology for decades. In fact, when he first adopted the comb-over back in the 80s, he leaned into the public reaction, because to him, it was a... This is Walt Nauta, officially Director of Oval Office Operations. Unofficially, according to a new book, part of his job is carrying an emergency kit for Trump, hairspray, makeup, Tic Tacs, and... This isn't just a story about hair. It's a story about what happens when the appearance of the job matters more than the job itself. And it goes a lot further than his scalp. It's time for Breaking Absurdity, your daily reminder that this is not normal. Fast recap for anyone who missed the last episode. Last week, Trump appeared at a Nevada rally, sporting brand new locks, sparking conversation about what exactly was on his head. Among the most serious theories, dead ginger cat became the running joke, and to spark even more conspiracy, Trump appeared the next day with a very different look, but more about that later. But the internet could not stop talking about the president beta testing a new hairpiece live at a campaign event. To understand the value of Trump's hair to his own image, there are many instances when people went on record with direct quotes from the president himself. Michael Wolff says that Trump's hair obsession is somewhat of an accident after compensating for thinning hair, but the result became permanent due to the media and public reaction.
and he said, I was a handsome guy. I had a great head of hair, and then I started to lose it. So I started to compensate for it, and that suddenly became what people were talking about when they talked about me. And I realized that this was a brand differentiator, that they remembered me because of my hair.
A brand differentiator. Well, he may be onto something. I mean, who could doubt for a second that Trump's brand is different? Michael Wolff makes the connection that Trump, being one of the few politicians who fully grasps that image is inseparable from politics. And what an image to be remembered for. Not ideas, policy, or a proven track record, just hair. And apparently Trump's own daughter went into a detailed description of the construction process of the golden dome on his head.
Ivanka, at a moment in time when she was still amused by her father and often making fun of her father, describes the elaborate architectural process of maintaining that dome over nothing. I mean, one of the greatest, I think we can safely say, the greatest comb over of all time.
Of all time, no one's seen anything like it.
And I mean, is she really interested of each strand having to come up? And as each strand comes up, the hairspray comes on. And in the end, you've constructed a dome, a perfect dome.
Wow. Trump's own family used to tease him about his golden dome of a comb over when they were still quote unquote amused by him. Now it sounds like instead of teasing him about it, I'm guessing it's a topic not brought up at family get togethers. Trump's family may not be talking too much about his hair anymore, but that's probably not true of his staff. According to regime change, longtime aide Walt Nauta's job reportedly included carrying a kit, which included makeup, hairspray, and a travel steamer to press out wrinkles in Trump's suit while Trump was still wearing it. And the main item in Nauta's kit? Scissors. Specifically so Trump could trim the back of his own hair when it got too long. No, that's not so a barber could do it. It was for Trump to cut it himself. Trump reportedly once offered DIY services out of Nauta's kit to a foreign head of government, Keir Starmer, although we're not sure if Starmer took him up on that offer. But this is where the story goes from pure vanity to biblical mythology, because Seth Rogen went on the record with what he heard from Stormy Daniels. And this is what Trump believes about his hair. And if you thought it was weird before, well, brace yourself, because it actually gets weird. Seth Rogen says he's known Stormy Daniels a long time, So when it came out that her mystery client was Donald Trump, he wasn't exactly shocked. When a porn star tells you who she's been sleeping with, this was about the least surprising answer he could imagine. What actually stuck with him was the hair. So they asked Stormy, and according to Rogan, she'd asked Trump the same thing and gotten an answer straight out of scripture, a dream. Samson-and-Delilah. His power, he said, lived in his hair. Lose it, and he'd lose the power, lose the stature. That's the real reason it stays, Rogan says, not because it clears any objective bar for what his hair is supposed to look like. He knows it doesn't. He just got superstitious about touching it. So the reason why Trump has just donned what some are calling donated golden retriever pelts on his head is because if he lost his golden locks, then all of his power would be zapped. And Trump even realizes it doesn't look great, but he'd rather keep it than cut it because of the superstition attached to it. This is some real Marvel comic storyline meeting biblical mythology meeting political reality stuff. But what occurs to me is, for all the people that want to knock Trump out of the presidency, have they ever thought, how could we take his hair away? Because according to Trump's own logic, that might be all it takes. And if it's true that all the perceived substance of the Trump era lies in a blonde, wispy, fake hairpiece, then what Michael Wolff said about Trump's hair might be truer than ever.
What's under Donald Trump's hair, and what is under Donald Trump's hair
Yeah.
is nothing.
It's
It
nothing.
is. You see the top of my head. I can do it. That's actually what the top of Donald Trump's head is like.
It's starting to look like Trump's hair is a metaphor for something bigger, or something that actually is not there. Underneath that carefully constructed dome is actually, in the words of Michael Wolff, nothing. Because once the hair is gone, Trump's power is gone, or at least that's what Trump thinks. It's a facade of stringy strands of blonde hair, positioned piece by piece, shellacked with layers of hairspray, and all it takes is a gust of wind, and that fragile dome just blows away. And the substance that he'd like us to think is underneath the surface, as it turns out, just was never there in the first place. And earlier in the video, we mentioned that Trump appeared the next day with a very different look. That toupee theory may need a revisiting, because today he's not wearing a hairpiece, it's just hair. Having a very hard day. Thick over here, thin over there, it's less a hairstyle and more a weather report. And this part just gave up entirely. Every angle a new discovery, it's less a comb over and more of an ongoing investigation. And there you have it, another day of Breaking Absurdity, where absurdity reigns supreme and reality can't keep up. If you enjoyed this episode of Breaking Absurdity, please be sure to check out my playlist of other episodes below. And while you're at it, please remember to like and subscribe so I can keep bringing you more Breaking Absurdity every day.